As I've been speaking to more and more people in my life about my decision to become a pro wrestler, one thing that's come up quite a bit is a little bit of confusion about what pro wrestling actually is. So I wanted to put together a really quick and easy to understand primer on the world of pro wrestling. But before I talk about what pro wrestling actually is, let me talk a little bit about what it isn't. One thing that I've seen a lot is people either confusing or conflating pro wrestling with amateur wrestling. Amateur wrestling is the wrestling that you might remember from your high school or college or maybe what you've seen in the Olympics. It's an organized competitive sport, much in the same way as tennis or soccer. A lot of pro wrestlers do have amateur wrestling backgrounds, but they're not the same thing. So, with that cleared up, pro wrestling has a long and detailed history, from its classical or amateur roots through to its time as a carnival sideshow or vaudeville act, but we're here to talk about modern day pro wrestling. And the best way that I can describe it is pro wrestlers portray characters. Good guys, aka baby faces, bad guys, aka heels, and just like in traditional theater, there are characters that sort of fall into a gray area or switch back and forth. The stories are told through a combination of in-ring competition, as well as more traditional storytelling formats such as interviews or skits. Wrestlers will often feud over a championship, but sometimes the feuds will be a little bit more personal. Maybe it's because of a personality conflict, or maybe someone just wants revenge for an injury that they got. The athleticism part of athletic theater comes from the wrestlers being able to physically perform those incredible feats that they do in the ring, while the theater part comes from being able to effectively and believably portray your character. Some performers are a little bit more focused on the theater side, while some are more focused on the athletic side, but both aspects combine into wrestling's true purpose, which is to provide entertainment. Yes and no. In the modern age, it's no secret that the in-ring competition part isn't really a competition. The outcomes of the matches are predetermined, often in the interest of furthering the storylines. Similarly, the kicks and punches that you see aren't real in the same sense that they are in MMA or boxing, for example. I mean, if you think about it, it'd be pretty hard to keep the stories going if the performers got concussions after every match. With that said, there's still a lot of real contact happening, and mistakes can and do happen, especially when you start involving props like tables and chairs. It's the same appeal as pretty much any other movie or TV show that you enjoy. You get invested in the characters, you get invested in their development, you get invested in the universe that's been crafted. Some fans enjoy pro wrestling purely for the wrestling aspect, while some enjoy it purely for the storyline aspect. But a good wrestling product has something for everyone to enjoy. Pro wrestling can be silly. Pro wrestling can be intense. Pro wrestling can be exhilarating, and pro wrestling can be heartbreaking. It's a form of theater and entertainment with almost no limits to what you can do. I hope that this video helped you understand a little bit more about this world, and I hope that it's inspired you to explore it a little bit further on your own. For more content like this, as well as to follow me on my journey as I become a pro wrestler myself, please like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and definitely let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me present a little bit more content going more in depth about the history of pro wrestling, because honestly, there's so much more I could say about it. As usual, thank you for sticking around, and I will catch you again very soon. Thank you again, you guys, and before I forget, I just want to remind you to please check out the videos on the side of your screen right now to see some more fun, cool content.